it is very important in ilhantahay Soomaalitahay ee meeshaas lagu jiro. Qofkii Soomaaliya oo aragtidiisu tahay nin madow ha qaato kursigaas ama qof ha qaato qof mooralkiisa wax ka hadlaysan. Marka taasna waa isku dhiirigelinayaa sababtaan arrinkan isku soo celinaya Soomaalida oo u sheegay live iyadoo ah idinka iyo the community.
Anyone other than Native Indian Americans came to America. Just because your ancestors came before us doesn't mean you're more American than us. You're more loyal to where your ancestors came from. Is that what you're saying? You owe more loyalty to where your ancestors are from? Because the same can apply to you too, since you came to America as well, just like we did.
Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries too. I can say it about other countries too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point.
What's going on? Sure you all can probably hear me. Of course, you probably hear the noise behind me. I'm trying to cut that out, but I know my voice should be bleeding, coming through over that. But I wanted to chime in on this stuff we're seeing right now concerning the Somalians and how we're getting the same old people coming out trying to shame foundational Black Americans for not fighting for Somalians, who, if you remember, have made plenty of videos stating the fact that they're not Black, they're Arabs. Look on their paperwork, they classify themselves as Caucasians. You have white people out here trying to low-key shame Black folks for not getting involved when they're getting involved. Like, well, you guys are two groups of Caucasians. So it makes way more sense than involving people that both of you, your groups detest, such as foundational Black Americans. Here's the other thing though, about this Pan-African thing. Here we are once again with Africans looking for Black Americans to stand up for their fight. We've had plenty of fights in this country, as of recent. We talking about reparations and whatnot. These people came in our conversations doing nothing but to tell us how we're not deserving of anything. So the first people to tell us that we're not deserving of nothing should be now asking for our help to come fight for them. That's exploitation. That's usury. And, you know, I understand a lot of people, they want to try to gaslight the situation of delineation and make it seem like it's about other groups. Stop lying on Black Americans. Delineation is simply about us focusing on us. And to focus on us doesn't require any other group. So, but here's the point. The conflict with us begins at people having something to say about us delineating. When we delineate, that's a us thing right off the rip. And so with Somalians and every other diasporic African that you want to call them, if they hear what we state and we are delineating and we are focused on our group alone, that should be enough, because there's every other group on the planet you have. And then I hear these idiots talk about, well, you don't see Black, white people over there killing each other and fighting each other. Hey, stupid. What the hell is going on in Ukraine? Are those Black people or Chinese people fighting against other different people? No. No, that's not what you're seeing. Matter of fact, you're seeing the exact opposite. It's white on white. Same as Charlie Kirk, white on white. Even the situation that you see going on here in America, in the country, it's a white on white situation. And so when all of these people who aligned themselves and said they weren't us and stayed away from us, let them not bring us into their fight and their argument now. We need to be left out of this. And for every other group that is not a Black American, please stop using our history. It is very disrespectful to us and our ancestors, especially when none of these people have stood up and said an humbling word. And right now I'm seeing the Congressional Black Caucus caping toughen up. They don't need us because they don't ever say anything about us. So as long as the immigrant caucus is in place, that is the people that Pan-Africans and Africans need to look to fight for them, period. Not foundational Black Americans, not this grassroots, not this real true energy, because you know what? All we do is get talked about, ridiculed, and shunned and shadow banned. There is not no James Smalls out here. There's no Dr. Mayat out here promoting the young voices of New Black Media. There's none of them doing that. Do you notice that? None of those elders are shouting out the young. Matter of fact, right now, what are they doing? Complaining. And all after actually getting back on the front scene by the person that they're complaining about. These are supposed to be our elders? And they're getting up here doing a bunch of gaslighting. That is shameful. And you don't have to read or run down your resume being a bad person actively. Now you can hide behind what you say in your credentials all you want to. But the bottom line is Dr. Smalls absolutely said that there was some State Department talk coming out of FBA. You can't walk that back by sitting up here talking slick. And if you wanted to really solve the problem, you should have had one of these voices on that platform, but you didn't. But you was out, and wasn't Mayat in DC? I know Smalls was. So it just looks real funny style. And you know, again, maybe things are caught up in misunderstandings, but the one thing that is clear to be understood, if we are needed to fight everybody's battle, that means nobody fights for us. So then what the hell is an ally? An ally is someone with mutual benefits, which means that these groups must fight just as we did. There's no allyship. That's just usually if we're fighting for people who in recent days haven't even spoke up for Black issues. This is the thing that kills the shit out of me. I can't stand hearing old niggas talk this dumb shit. These people have not even said a mumbly word. You showed me the goddamn African that want to say, hey, Black Americans should get reparations. And they out there championing that shit. Show me the Somalian doing that. Show me any of these other groups doing that. Act like we ain't got our own agenda out here. But we got to sit here and put ourselves on the back burner for everybody else. I say hell no. And so I just want to know what y'all think. Let me know in the comments. Do you agree with me or do you disagree with me? I am outspoken against Pan-Africanism because I believe it is, number one, they have never used Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism is an invention and a creation of foundational Black Americans to begin with. So if you have a problem with the creation of the title or the name Foundational Black American, then you also should have an issue with Pan-Africanism geniuses. Anyway, y'all stay Black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, Black first, Black first. Shalom, y'all.
So if any Black people want reparations
and want to stay a star, and don't want to have to worry about
tethers,
trying to be all in the videos,
speaking for Black people,
dancing,
come to New Black Media and the Black Grassroots. Peace.
It's a cultural divide. I'm going to get it on the flow. You really about to do it? 40 acres in the mule. This is bigger than the music.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.